here we go. It's video blog number 2, and what we want to try and look at today, if it works, is the system of motorcycle control, and looking at various ways in which you're going to be using your rear observation. So we're presently at a stop. Just check my mirror left and right. Love 1 first get engaged, just cover my brake for my back foot, my foot, so before I move off. Pull a check, and away. As you're going along, you're going to be thinking, every time you see a hazard, which is going to be anything that's going to affect your speed or your position, always think about the system, which is information, position, speed, gear, acceleration. But a couple of vehicles has just pulled out in front of me, just descending a country road, 40 limit, bend coming up, mirror check. Need to do anything else as regards rear observation. Another look again, just reducing my speed marginally there. Checking left, we're okay. Braking again, checking mirror before doing so. So what you're trying to do is develop your riding environment. And I know there's a lot of people out there who insist that you should be always checking your rear view mirror or your rear observation every 10 seconds, which is fair enough. But if you ask yourself, does a hazard occur every 10 seconds as you're riding along? I don't think it does. You've got to be prepared to not to be in this robotic mood or zone, and it's got to be really adaptable and flexible. Road appears to go round to my left. We've got a bit of an incline, so I'll check my mirror, no problem at all. Quite happy, I know what's going on behind me, I know what's in front. We've got a system of traffic lights ahead of me, just got to red. Give me mirror. I tend to move my head a bit, not just my eyes, to just get me into the system or the swing of things. We're going to go left at the lights. All I need to do for the system is indicate for the vehicles behind, and I'm just going to brake. We know now that they've changed, I'm down to first gear, so mirror check left, shoulder check, away. I suppose we could have given a lifesaver there, and last little behind before deviating. I was quite happy, I knew what was behind me. I've got fairly good mirrors, worked everything out, so there was no dangers whatsoever. We're in a 30-mile-an-hour limit now. Mirror check again as the road goes round to the right and then to the left. Not looking too bad at all. Slight descent on the hill, mirror check again. Looking left and right all the time. Acknowledging that fellow rider as the road now descends. Mirror check. So what sort of rear observations have we got available to the cyclist? Well, we got the mirror check. He's obviously just checking mirrors left and right. And then we've got a speed limit deviation now, and we've got a 30 into 40. I'll just check shoulder. Why? That's not a lifesaver, that's as far as I'm concerned a shoulder check. The check before entering the curve. 40 miles an hour. I don't know if you can probably see it, no you won't see in the mirror, but I've got a vehicle behind me that doesn't like doing 40, so my observation skills are obviously going to be upper level, trying to find out what they're going to do. Cyclist coming past, mirror check, the road goes round to the right after the left hand bend. So I'm looking past the right and the left hand bend onto the right, and it's a lovely day. Road surface is not too bad, and remember Any reduction in speed like then, mirror check beforehand so you're always aware of your environment behind you. We've got a bend coming up. Speed is drastically reduced from the vehicles in front. I'm not going to get pulled in by them. Once I've seen the black car behind me, mirror check. What we'll try and do is probably do a couple of left and right hand turns. And then really you've got to consider, is a lifesaver required? It's the last look behind before deviating. It's a good look to know what you're doing. Like you say, I've got my mirrors set up in such a way that I know roughly what's behind me. If I need to give a last check, then obviously I'll do the lifesaver. Mirror check again. We've got a series of bends coming up. Road goes round to the left. Stay out wide for this one. We're going to come in now for the next one, so just mirror check left before I deviate. I'm pulling about shoulder checks, I know what's behind me. I'm quite happy. Quite happy with my riding environment to know what's happening above, and above I can see the distance to 30 limits, mirror check. We're already 30 miles an hour in the 40 limit. Hazards ahead, mirror check. Just driven through that hazard, which is vehicles turning across my path at a junction. Was part of the system, which is information, position, speed, gear, acceleration. All I've done is check my mirror, which is the information phase. Nothing to give any signals to. I'd already got my position, I'd already got my speed, I'd already got my gear, and I didn't need to accelerate. So when you're using the police system of motorcycle control, you only use per parts that you require. Whatever part you use in IPSGA, it must always be in sequence. Got some junctions coming up, and I'll tell you what, we'll go right at this one, so I'm going to check my mirror. I need to indicate for the base of the vehicles behind, just mirror check again, pushing speed. I need to change my gear now before positioning, shoulder check before centering the road, get into the junction, shoulder check again. Good class act, it's a lifesaver if you want, that's a bit of a more exaggerated shoulder check. Just know what's happening behind you. You're not looking all the time, you're not got your head like a yo-yo left and right all the time, just checking your mirror so you know what's happening behind you. Quite happy with your riding environment, even if the road's rough. Got a junction coming up in a minute or two, and we're going to go left at that junction. Checking my mirrors, there's nothing behind, no need to signal, bringing the speed down, recheck my mirror. One vehicle there. What we'll do this time, we will do a shoulder check, lifesaver, and away. So the lifesaver is just a little bit longer than a shoulder check. We'll try it again. So we've got mirror check, shoulder check, lifesaver. Lifesaver, a last look behind before deviating. Just checking any blind spots that you're not aware of. But if you look at it this way, you're supposed to be an advanced rider. You're supposed to be aware of your riding environment. And you're supposed to be aware of what's happening around you. Now, do you need to give as many lifesavers as you thought you had to give? As long as you're aware of what's happening in your immediate vicinity, nobody's going to get to you as a result, then what's the point? I know it says it in Roadcraft, and it probably says it in certain other manuals regarding advanced riding, but what you've got to be aware of the fact is a lifesaver is given if required. Got a roundabout coming up now. Part of the system is I've got to give me information to other vehicles on the roundabout. Got to stop. No, we haven't. I'm quite happy second. I'll just mirror, shoulder. I'll give a long shoulder to the left. Happy, and away we go. Cancel my indicator. And we'll run up to 30 miles an hour, which we're on now, avoiding the grids. We see a 4040 limit. Mirror check. Water limit coming up. Go. 4040. On the ascent, and we got another roundabout ahead. So mirror check. I'll look into the roundabout. Too bad. Quite happy what's behind me. Quite happy it's on the roundabout. I've got a change of gear now. Third's quite happy, good for me. Pulled quite well in third. The BM well got a lot of torque. Shoulder check before we're moving, and then obviously we've got vehicles on the roundabout, so I'm going to probably change gear after braking. Got my speed down. I need first now to move off. Mirror check. Breakaway left. Shoulder check left. I know what's about. I'm looking all the time. Trying to make that margin of safety as big as possible. That zone as big as possible. We're going to go left now to set the traffic lights. Mirror check before bringing speed down. Down, down. Brake, brake, brake. That'll do. Check. Put into neutral. Changed again. Mirror check. Indicate for the vehicles behind. I know what's behind me. There's nothing coming up, but I will do a lifesaver. Check on the new course.